Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Heroes Show. We got Cory and Nick with you here, and in this video, we are reviewing The Harder They Fall, which is a feature-length film that is now streaming on Netflix. There will be spoilers for it, so be wary. Nick, how are you today, bud?
Fabulous.
We're finally doing this
Well
video.
lit. Yeah, we are finally talking
It's
about
only
it.
been like 3 weeks, I think, since since we watched the film, and
Something like that. Yeah.
Thanksgiving and work and busy stuff all just getting in the way of it. But there will be
Good
spoilers in
point.
here, like I mentioned. So please beware if you haven't seen this film. Go check it out on Netflix and come back and see us. This one is a doozy. It
Mm,
is directed by Jeymes Samuel, and this is his directorial debut, which is kind of wild to think of.
yeah.
It was produced by and has original music written by Jay-Z, which is pretty cool. The music was one of my favorite parts of the entire film. It stars a murderer's row of insanely talented actors. Jonathan
Yes.
Majors, Idris Elba, Regina King, Zazie Beetz, Lakeith Stanfield, Delroy Lindo, or as you may know them, Kang the Conqueror, Heimdall Bloodsport, Dr. Manhattan, Domino, and somebody who's going to be in the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali coming up pretty soon.
Yes.
So, yes, it's all connected. Everything goes
Hmm.
back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point.
Right.
So it is available on Netflix. You don't have to go to a movie theater to see it, which is pretty cool. Um, Nick, I thought this movie was absolutely fucking great and a very enjoyable 2.5 hours. How about you?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed every moment of it. It was far better than I expected, and obviously, just sort of knowing who the cast was and this sort of concept of the movie, I figured it was going to be good. I just didn't really know how well it would turn out or be perceived. And a slight little twist at the end, which was nice. And
Yeah.
um, but at one point we were watching it, and my girlfriend says, "Who is this? A Quentin Tarantino movie?" And I was
Man.
like, "It might seem that way, but it's actually not. Believe it or not, because of just the type of killings that happen, the blood and the violence,
Yeah.
and it definitely has that sort of feel to it. Um, you know, but again, I think this, for Mr. Samuel, what a great movie just to come out of the gate with, right? Like,
Like I think about the fact that like it's hard for me to wake up in the morning and like tie my shoes. And like this guy is just like, yeah, for my first movie, I think I'd like to do this. And then this is the result that comes out of it. Like that always blows my mind when somebody comes out of the gate and it's like, this is their directorial debut and they get nominated for like Oscars and whatnot. It's like, holy shit, how are you people so good at what you do in life? It's just that's amazing stuff to
and then
me.
you have a cast like that to come out and work with too.
Good
Like,
lord. Yeah, man.
one
That's
could ever be so fortunate to do so. But yeah, I mean, big kudos to him to knock this one out of the park, I think.
yeah. Cast is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I feel like Jonathan Majors is obviously the lead of the film, and we've watched him in Loki just literally steal the spotlight away from
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, who is
Yeah.
a terrific track like classically trained actor.
Yeah.
Majors has this he just has this vibe about him, man. Like he almost kind of reminds me of Heath Ledger during his Joker time, where it's like anytime you see him on screen, you never really know what he's going to do next. And
Yeah.
then he just flashes that big smile at you. And it's like, all right, this guy's like a bona fide movie star. And he brings it in this movie uh, very hard. He's really, really good in this one. And he does it with a
Yep.
cross carved into his forehead,
And
which
that's what sort
is
of
pretty cool.
yeah, and that's what I wonder if that was some sort of like homage to Inglorious Bastards from QT.
It could be. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that
Instead of a
was
swastika, it's a
something.
cross. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So if it wasn't, still cool concept, because it's sort of one of those things where the whole reason why he did it was to remember him in case they ever crossed paths again. Of course,
Yep.
we find out a little bit more at the end of who those two gentlemen actually are.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think between the acting from everyone, it was so well done. And again, because of who you have, and I think because of some of the scenes that were just written the way they were, a couple of my favorite scenes, the entire train heist scene
It was so good.
was just so damn good.
Phenomenal.
The part where Cherokee Bill
Lakeith
he
Stanfield, man,
dude
that's my dude right there. He's
he
so
was so good
talented.
in
It's not even
everything he's
funny.
ever in. It
Oh
just
my god.
his like character persona just like
Mhm.
is super chill,
Yep.
but you know, he takes a sip of this like liquor and then he just immediately drops the glass right after like just that was nasty or something and then just I don't know why that made me laugh. Whether
Everything he does, man,
yeah,
is pitch perfect. Whether it's in Atlanta or Sorry to Bother You or Judas and the Black Messiah
yeah,
or this, like he's somebody who, even if his character is not the most interestingly written character in that particular film or TV show, he makes it the most interesting character,
yep.
which is wild. He's just got some gravity around him, and everything just kind of becomes, he's like the center of everything whenever he's on screen. It's so cool.
In that part on the train scene where he's like the screen is split and he's talking through the door to like the lieutenant general.
Hmm.
That was just a really cool shot and like concept of doing it. It almost made you feel like you were there watching it, right? And
Yeah.
instead of like switching back and forth from the camera to seeing on one side of the door you got Cherokee talking and then the other side of the door you got the lieutenant general talking. Instead, it's like, nope, we're going to show you both split screen and just have them talk back and forth. And yeah, that was again the whole scene at the end too, where of that scene rather when they get Rufus out and it's like,
Yeah.
they know how to drive a train. Cool, kill everyone else.
Kill everyone else.
It's
Yep.
just like I'm like, damn,
Yeah, they're ruthless, man. But
yeah,
that moment, like Lakeith is doing all this cool stuff, and then Idris comes out, and it's like, okay, now he's the center of attention
yep,
because he's also one of those dudes where like a hell of a year for him too between this and the Suicide Squad.
yep,
Just completely crushing it on every angle. He's a ruthless bastard in
yeah,
this movie, which is terrific. His accent is always incredible. He's got a great voice for the movies.
yep,
Just really really cool stuff. Like you talked about with the split screen stuff, there's a ton of clever cinematography in this.
hmm,
One of my favorite things, and this is a Tarantino thing, who Tarantino rips off of old westerns and spaghetti films and samurai stuff, is the super fast like zoom in where they're like, it's like a wide shot and then they go straight into one guy looking out a window.
yep,
There's a ton of that in this movie, and it's just really clever, and it kind of just turns a lot of the notions that you think of when you think of a western kind of on their head,
hmm,
which is really fun. And one of those things that really does is the music, because this
yeah.
has
The music
some
was
like
really good. Yeah,
hip hop inspired, like I don't know about you, but the I felt the bass every time
hmm,
the music hit.
yeah,
Which that's not something you're used to when you watch a western, right? Westerns are usually more acoustic guitar, strings, maybe some light horns.
lighter. Yeah.
Um, and this was not afraid to give us a modern take on that, which I thought was
Yep.
really cool. But
Yeah, no, the music was great, and again, a lot of the cinematography shots were very well done.
yeah.
Uh, Obviously hit the head, and then this western feel, couple of other lines out there that fit the vibe and the location. There was like a 310 to Yuma quote
Hmm.
or moment in there too, which was really cool, and even when uh the scene in the church where he's looking for the scorpion and
Yeah.
the guy's got like the scorpion tattoo on his like hand and he's like that he tries to play it off and then he just gets murked
Yep. Big time.
right then and there and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be pretty bloody.
It was rather
But I
bloody.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to the whole showdown we see at the end, right in the town, everyone empties out, and it's just
It's such a western trope.
yeah,
This
it's
town
like
that's full of
have
people
to
and then all of a
have it.
sudden it's empty, right? Yeah.
You have to have it, and I like the fact that there's this, there's a little bit more to it than what Rufus is trying to accomplish, right? Like, it's like, hey, you
Yep.
stole my money, I want it back because we're trying to do something here, make this town something, and then the entire time, uh, Jonathan Majors is like, nope, I'm just here to kill you, and
Yep.
that's all I want.
It's a straight up revenge story, like a
Yep,
Kill Bill or a Django Unchained, right?
yep, Yep, and I like the fight between Regina King and Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That
Very
was
cool.
pretty cool.
Very
Um,
clever stunt work in that
yeah,
tight room.
yeah,
Well, they're not weapons. They just basically found anything they could lift their arms up and just
yeah,
hit with each other with. It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Any object whatsoever. And then again at the end, when you see Idris just kind of sitting at that desk and he's just drinking, uh,
It's
and
so good.
he tells him that story, and then and again that's where the twist is, and he's like, "Your last name's Buck.
Yep.
You're a buck."
Yep.
And he's like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, sorry, you are." Like, that whole moment was just was just epic.
Yep.
It was so great to the point where he's begging him to shoot him, and then he obviously finally does. But
Yeah, I mean, he puts a few in him
yeah,
too.
I think he was clicking at one point where
Yep.
he ran out of ammo. But yeah, it was a very touching moment too because
Hmm.
he's like, "We're gonna make a grave for me too," because then the sheriff's like, "He's dead." Yeah, he's dead, uh, and they, they ride off in the sunset, I guess, right? And
Yeah. Which
um,
again, that's another
a
huge Western
huge
thing.
western,
Is the
yeah,
final shot of the film is the cowboy riding away into the
yeah,
sunset.
with the girl, no less, and
Yep.
but right at the very end, it seems that treacherous Trudy is
Treacherous
alive.
Trudy. That's right.
So
Sequel.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
look, I'm all up for a sequel on
Yeah.
this.
I would 100% be down for a sequel.
Yeah, and look, just maybe make it a sequel, a two-parter. You don't need to stretch this out to a trilogy, maybe, because I would want something like this to be bogged down with you know more tropes that just kind of seem overly cliche and predictable.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would imagine we would get a sequel at some point. Hopefully, we do. I haven't seen anything yet, but it has been a couple weeks since I've looked and seen the movie, so
Yeah.
maybe there is by now. Who knows?
Hopefully. Speaking of the train heist, I didn't mention this when we were talking about it. Did you see the tribute that was in there?
Oh, for C.A. Bozeman, yeah.
Yeah, the train is
Big.
a tribute to Chad. And he
Yep.
would have been 45 this week. His birthday was I think today, the day that we're recording this, which is Tuesday. So
Mm,
I saw that, and the emotions were flowing just
yeah.
from the side of the damn train. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like he was lost way too soon.
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely. Way
um
too
like,
soon.
imagine if he was still alive and he was also in this movie, how just like badass that would have been. But
Yeah.
um
He would have been great for this too, you know?
yeah, but you can tell all those actors are huge fans of his,
Oh,
and
yeah.
some of them were friends.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool to see the tribute in there to Chadwick, which
Yep.
is lots of fun. So
Yep.
um, out of 10, I know this is a fake Netflix movie.
Yeah. Streaming
um,
movies aren't real, Patty.
they're not real, Patty.
Oh, God.
That's going to be our Matt Damon joke. You know how Jimmy Kimmel signs off and he's like, "Sorry, Matt Damon, we didn't have enough time."
Yeah.
Ours is just going to be like, "It's not a real movie, Patty. Thanks for watching the
Any
Real Heroes
streaming
show."
movie we cover will always be deemed as not a real movie. It's not cinematic.
So as far as fake movies go, how would you score this one out of 10?
I'd probably get a fake 8.
A fake 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fake 8.5.
Yeah.
It's a little bit long. It's like a
Uh,
little over 2.5 hours.
yeah, it was that long, wasn't it?
It is, yeah.
So I think you
So
probably could have trimmed a little bit more, and I think if you would have, yeah, trimmed a couple things out, I'd have to go back and watch it to see what exactly. So don't quote me on that, but um, I think if you make it a little bit quicker paced, I would probably give it a higher rating too, just because it would
yeah,
kind of seem like there's more. I don't necessarily actiony moments, but there's just more moments uh, where the story just kind of hits you a lot sooner
sure.
and quicker, and maybe again brings the feels up a little bit more, and maybe keeps the flow of drama.
Yeah, like you
Um,
get that twist 97% of the way through the movie.
yeah, it's literally
Like
at the very end.
like if that would have happened a
Like,
little bit sooner, or if it got there a little bit quicker, I think it might have had a little more weight to it than
yeah,
it
agreed.
does after you sit through 2 hours and 18 minutes of a movie, or however long it is at that point. But
Yeah.
the minor quibbles. It was a lot of fun. It doesn't
Yep.
cost you anything extra. You can watch it in your PJs on your couch. So
Yep.
highly recommended from us. So,
Same. Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
man. So that's going to wrap this up for this video. If you have watched The Harder They Fall, we would love to hear your thoughts. Drop us a comment below and let us know what you thought. We will make sure to respond to any comment that comes through. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're working towards 1,000 subscribers. We need your help to get
We
there.
do.
Tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your friends, make multiple Google accounts so you can subscribe multiple times. Don't actually do that. I don't know if that breaks any YouTube laws or whatever. I'm just being silly. And make sure to check out some of the other videos that are up on the channel this week. Shane and I talked about time. Nick and I reviewed Shrink Next Door. We're talking about Wheel of Time. We got Hawkeye. There's just loads and loads of stuff that we're talking about, having a great time. Maybe I'll do a video chronicling trying to stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning to get Spider-Man tickets that didn't work when Fandango crashed. Who knows? You never know what's going to come from the Real Heroes show. So stay tuned for all of those things and so much more. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.